Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with the flip through for the AnnE with an E journal. I just finished this yesterday. I absolutely adore how it turned out. It's a little bit more colorful in the seam binding arena than I had planned or would have wanted, and I had this blue when I started the journal, but then I don't have it anymore, so I just kind of made it this rainbow of beautiful seam binding to fill in the gaps in here, as we talked before when we just did the work, the ephemera work, that I had a lot of pages that didn't have anything coming out the side, so I did add just tabs and seam binding to those. So she is a 3 signature journal. Let me grab my ruler. And the cover measures pretty much 6 inches by 8 and 8.5. I get, oh no, 8 and, that's not as, I did something really awry. Just over 8.5 inches tall, and she has a 3-inch spine. So I had this doily that I purchased at an antique shop. It came in a 2-pack. I don't think it's antique, but I like the look of it. So I went ahead and used it to cover the spine and wrap around the front and the back of the journal. And I just love, it's delicate, and it just felt like it fit with this journal completely. And then you saw in the previous video the fabric that I had chosen. I love how it turned out as well. We've got some beautiful bead work here. It's always hard to get this on camera. So we've got this beautiful bead work here, just random things from my stash. And then this is some, I was like, what am I gonna close it with? Because I didn't really plan for that, as is often the case. But this is this stretchy, elastic, like chiffon almost lace or ribbon. So I went ahead and just got 2 lengths of it, so it is doubled. As you can see, there's 2 layers here, here, and here, and I just wrapped it around and tied it. I went through my 3D flowers. I need to probably glue that down. My 3D flowers, and picked this what do you call that material? You know what it is. It's burlap, kind of like burlap look. And then this green flower I thought was the perfect color. And then I printed the images I showed in the previous video on a printable canvas paper, and so it's got that canvas feel to it, and I just put some photo corners on it. This is glued on, and these are glued on with E6000 because it is a cover and I want to make sure that it holds up. Okay, so let's go ahead and open her up here. Now, before I do that, let me show you what we were not able to use. So this one, I couldn't find the belly band, and it turned out to be a very thick piece of ephemera, so I'll just throw that in with whoever ends up purchasing the journal. I'll just throw this extra stuff in. These did not work because they were too wide. So I have 3 of them, and they are just slightly too wide. My pages are 5 1/4, and this is 5 and almost 3/8. So I didn't put any of these three in there. So I will again just throw those in to whoever buys it. But they're really cute, and they open up like this. And so you've got journal cards tucked inside like that. So they're very fun. If I did it again, I would do that differently. So, and I probably will, because they're fun, multifunctional. Okay, so let's go ahead and get going on the flip through here. So I'm just going to untie that baby, and I'm just going to show you how stretchy she really is. Now she's deflated a little bit, but I think she'll still work for the closure. Whoever buys it, I'll probably throw another piece of that in just in case that one goes south. So you can see she does pop up a little bit, so I'm going to hold her up so you can see. So she's a little bit of a gator mouth, but not terribly. Okay, and the reason for that, as I often mention, is I allow 1 inch per signature. So this journal has 3 signatures. It is sewed directly into the spine. You can see the strings here. So that allows me room for expansion. So I did not do a hidden spine, is what I was trying to get at here. I did not do a hidden spine. So, so that allows me expansion for my style, which is interactive ephemera, multifold ephemera, and that kind of thing. So I love how the cover turned out. I will kind of tack that down. I don't want that to be a problem. Probably put just a little dab of glue underneath those top petals. Okay, so here we go. In the front, I printed another one of the images from that new kit that I mentioned. And I printed this also on canvas. So there's one in the front and one in the back. Now, I just finished this yesterday. Today is Sunday, the 17th. So I'm not sure. Yeah, the pockets are reasonably sized. I didn't put anything in them. I figure the recipient can do that. So let's get a dimension on them. So they're 5 1/8 inches wide. So probably a 4 3/4 inch card would fit in there. So there's one in the front and then there's one in the back. And I thought it went perfect on top of that cover paper. So this is the first page. And then we flip over here. We did this on camera. And I just put that piece of lace there to cover up that hinge. Okay, so we've got that mechanism. I'm not going to talk about everything because we just went through it in the other video. So lots of writing space. So this is writing space. You can write on vellum as long as you write with a permanent pen. I like to use the Artist Pitt pen. They are a waterproof India ink and they do write on vellum without smudging. And then I had this tea bag in my stash and it had like a fairy card in it, but I just took the fairy card out and put the, that needs to be glued down more. The recipient can put something in there. Okay, it's just got the little strings there. I'm going to make some more of those. That's up on my list. I haven't made those for a few years. The only thing I don't like, and I might create a cluster to put here, is I don't like seeing that glue, so I probably will fix that. This is one of the dangles. I thought that I had 3 of these, but I only had 2. So there's one in the first signature and one in the second. They are a little bit bulky, but they're still very fun. So I like them. And then we placed that there. I think we did that on camera. And then we've got this multifunctional. Again, it's got a lot of journal cards in here. This flips up. This is a writing space in here. I'm not going to untie everything. It's got a window here, which I loved that effect. And another, I took 2 cards that were in another, something else. I'm not sure what I created them for. I can't find it. So I just stuffed them in this pocket. This is our flip down writing space. So when you undo this mechanism, this flips down for a writing space and it flips up for a writing space. So actually, let's go ahead and show you that because I don't think I showed you. I can't remember if I showed you in the other video. Sometimes people watch the flip through, but they don't watch they didn't watch the video. And I'm so puzzled by why anybody would do a thumbs down on a flip through. When I did one of the Grungy Library flip-throughs, I had 3 thumbs down. I'm like, who would ever thumbs down this kind of beautiful creation? I'm like, I don't get it. So this folds down like this, and we've got a little bit of a writing space here. And then if you flip it up, you've got writing space here as well. So that's really, and here. So pretty cool. I'll tie that up later. And then we've got a pocket here. I didn't put anything in it. This one was tricky. So I kind of messed up this edge because this hung over too far. And then I tried to put some kind of a hinge on that edge. It didn't work. So I just took it off and I put a piece of lace there. And so we've got an empty pocket. We talked about this on the other video. It's just a belly band kind of collage style. We love the little dandelions. Don't you feel as if you just love the world don't you feel as if you just love the world on a morning like this? Love it. And then this was a hidden paper, over the page magnetic paper clip, so I just put it on that page. That was just from my stash. Thought it was fitting. I was able to create, I used a postcard from Angela's kit, and I created a pocket for our mixed media card, a tag, so that worked out really well. Very simple page there. And we've got this, we've already talked about this. It flips like that. I did put a decorative piece of paper on here. Oh, that's lace. I was like, there's a bunch of glue. So I just put a strip of paper that tied in with this image and just did that, and then you can still write on that. I just felt like it looked really weird with them both being tea stained, kind of looked strange. So that's how I fixed that. It's got journal cards in there. And then we've got this I just set in there. So this is that one where you flip it open. It's a tag shaped writing space, so it just flips open like that. Well, let's show you because it's not tied. Goes like that and opens up, and you've just got all this writing space, and then it's got cards galore. So it's got cards in here, cards in here, cards in here, and cards in here. So great piece. And I just stuck that in the middle of 2 of the signatures, being careful not to shove it in there and bend those tabs. And then this is the one where we glued this in, or we attached this with Velcro. So let me just show you what that looks like. So now this can be taken out. Okay, taken out, and let's go ahead and open it just in case you guys didn't see that other video. And you just open it up, and you've got this ability to set it right on your desk or your surface, and you can write in it. So we've got a large cards here, a pocket, and then this is our waterfall writing space. So super, super cool. I love how that turned out. Again, I will fix that in a little bit. And then vellum, and then that's our second dangle. And this is one where I used chipboard. So I have so many chipboard scraps, and so when I did this, it was a crash or trash. I tried to create something using them. They're a little bit bulky, but they're very sturdy. And I just put a hole there and a eyelet, and then a couple of big jump rings there to help it to dangle a little bit, and it's attached with a bulb pin. So you can check out the crash or trash if you want to see how we made those. This is that one we talked about. It's the collared pocket. It's stuffed full of beautiful journal cards. And then we've got our decorative butterfly punch, a vintage vellum page. And then this is the same as that other one. No, it's not. Yeah, it is. And I just left that one because I thought, well, maybe somebody would like that. So I just left that one alone. And then we've got 2 large journal cards, and then there's 2 writing spaces in each of those pockets. This is another one of those ones that we just Velcroed in, and it's got the waterfall writing space. It's removable. And then these are our fun little writing spaces. So if you just do that, kind of an accordion type thing, and you've got all this writing space on the back. So really, really, again, very functional, which is my aim when I create journals. So I learned something about when I put this journal together, that I really need to just have a faux journal page folded in half so that I can use it to kind of think through, is this piece of ephemera actually going to work in my journal? Because I do bump into this periodically where I create something outside of the journal and then it doesn't end up fitting in the journal. So I will be practicing that skill as we move forward. I'd like to, I think I mentioned it in the other video, go ahead and do a journal where we create the cover and put the signatures in first, and then we decorate, because I want you to see the benefits of both. Now, the cool thing about doing pre-made ephemera is when I'm ready to put this journal together, I have everything I need, and usually more than I need. And I like that because I can just knock this out. I finished this in an afternoon yesterday. So that was pretty cool. So let's move on. So this is another one of our mixed media tags, and I just attached it with a paper clip. It's a bronze paper clip and some seam binding. I didn't want to go into the whole mass paper clip this time around. So, and then this is our other. I was trying to find an image that I could put this in the pocket that would match more, but that was as close as I could get. But I thought it was fun because here she is on this grassy knoll here, and then we've got the bridge over the water and those wildflowers. So that was fun. And then I put a tab on there. And that's the end of the second signature. And then we've got, this is our, these were the really bulky ones. So if you take this out, I glued it on. It looks like it's crooked. Of course, it's crooked. Oh my heavens. Oh, how do I get it out? The beads. Oh no. Let's try that again. Oh, we're catching on something. Oh my heavens, Renee. Okay, what am I? Oh, there we go. So that is a little bit crooked. I can see that now, but you know what? I say perfection is not at play in the studio. So this is another one of those where it's pretty bulky. We've got a couple cards in there, a couple cards in the back, and then on the back cover. And it's got a lot of pages for writing in it, which is really cool, but it's pretty thick. Okay, so you might want to consider that when you if you try to create this, you could put less pages in it, and that kind of thing if you want to control that bulk a little bit more. Oh, and this is the one where that's the, no, that's just a pocket. I was thinking that was a flip down writing space too. Oh, this is tricky. Tricky. Let me get my metal ruler. That's not, those beads are problematic, let me tell you. Why is this not going in? Is it catching on something on the other side? There we go. Just wiggle it, Cara-Renee. But it just brought extra beads to the table here. And then this is that another one of those that just sits in the middle, and it's just really super multifunctional and pretty. And then I love this. Kindred spirits are not as scarce as I used to think. It's splendid to find out that there are so many of them in the world. I feel that way about all of the people that watch my channel and have fallen in love with this craft. So this is another hidden paper clip that I just pulled from my stash. It fit perfectly with the theme, so I didn't put anything on that side. I'm good with that. This is another one of our mixed media tags. I was able to get all the tags in here. I think there were 4 altogether. So I just paper clipped it in again. And then this is another one of those funky fold out, you know, writing spaces. The other part of that coffee stained paper. And as you can see, I did put lace. I did run out of lace, so there's a little bit less at the very end than there was at the beginning, but that's okay. We've got so many tabs and seam binding that it'll be okay. I'm looking forward to working on the vintage journal, the more neutral style, because I would love to have a more calm palette. I work with a lot of these really bright colors and multicolors, and I think it would be really good for me to do something that's a little bit less busy. So I'm looking forward to that. Let me just untwist that. There we go. And then where are we at here? We've got that beautiful AnnE image. That's from the new kit. And then this is another one of those fold down writing spaces. I moved this one towards the bottom, but again, it is, this whole thing slips out. Okay, so, or the belly band, sorry, the belly band unties and then this flips down in this case. So we've got journal cards in here, and then the large ones there. So all of my ephemera is very, very bulky. So, you know, that might not be your cup of tea, but it is mine. So there we go. And then we've got vellum, and then there's another one of those triple pocket pieces of ephemera. I did add the strip of paper here and just cut an image with my oval punch there. And then we've got some cards in the pocket. And then this is the third belly band writing space. This again, this one doesn't flip down. It's just that bulky booklet that we talked about. So you can kind of see it there. It's a little bit on the bulky side. But again, I allow for that. This is a cluster just from my stash. I just pulled out my bin and found something that had those colors. I really need to sit down and use my scraps and make a bunch of clusters is what I need to do. I'm running low. Music paper on vellum, and then writing space here at the back. Okay, and then the last colored pocket, which has got those large cards in it, and then this is our back inside cover with that the other half of that image on the that's in the front cover. And again, that will be a great pocket for the recipient. So it's pretty roomy. So our line is probably about, our glue line is about 1/4 inch. So if you look at that, you're going to go, oh, so you could probably do a 4 3/4 inch wide journal card or tag to go in there. So that is it, my friends. She is a chunky monkey, just the way that I like them. I love how this cover turned out. I wanted to do something a little bit simpler. This is another journal that will be available for sale. If you're interested, you can email me at b.rebornart@gmail.com. I will link it down below in the description box. Well, actually, if you click on my link tree, you'll be able to go to all of my links, find all of my links. And then the top turned out a little bit better. I added, once I added some of the other ephemera, it brought some other colors in here to the top, which I like. And again, I don't do a lot with the bottom because I like to make my dangles long enough that the journal can sit like that, unencumbered. Okay. So, and then let me just show you how that closure goes back on in case you're curious. So I just take the full length, and you're not going to be able to see this on camera because I got to lift it up, and I just kind of fold it in half. Okay, so that's 2 layers, and then I just put this here, place it down in the middle of the front cover, and I go tight at the beginning. Sorry, you guys can't see this. And then we just kind of, and you just can cinch it up, okay, and pull that in, and just make it pull that opening closed. And then just tie it in a bow here. Let me do it this way because I always have to turn that one of those ends underneath the layers there. So tying is hard on camera. I know you guys feel me. Ah, there we go. She's so beautiful. Look at that journal, and I love this closure. So I've never used that material for a cover before, but there she is. So you can check out the photos at the end of the video as well. And again, if you're interested, please just reach out to me. I don't do this to sell my work, but I am learning a valuable lesson that I actually had a dear friend who's been trying to teach me it for years, that my work has value. And when I undervalue my work, I am undervaluing myself. And so I've decided that my work is worth selling. If I choose to give something away, I choose to give it away, which I still do give stuff away. But the journals where I'm taking so much time to make them, they are going to start to be for sale. And if I build up a stash in here, I will just hold on to them and do a market or a Christmas bazaar or something of that nature. Or I might try to sell on Facebook Marketplace or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, there she is. So thank you guys so much for stopping by and joining me. I hope that you enjoyed the flip through, and thank you for joining me on the journey, because without you, there would be no journey. I mean, there'd be a journey. It'd be low company though. Like it'd just be me, myself, and I. I just realized that's covering up that corner. I did not do that on purpose. It's covering up that other metal corner. But what I'm saying is that I believe that community is everything. And when we can create in community and share in community, we spread joy and we spread inspiration across the globe, literally, because I've got people across the globe. So thank you guys again. And I hope that you have a great Sunday. Of course, you will see this much later than Sunday. So, but I will see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.